What do sharks, Harry Houdini, and you have in common? Well, sharks appeared about 420 million years ago. And to put it in context, Neanderthals, like me, appeared about 400,000 years ago. Homo sapiens, like you, appeared about 160,000 years ago. Let's go back to sharks. Sharks, over their 450 million years of evolution, have become amazing creatures. They can sense electrical fields of living beings. They can smell a drop of blood in the volume of water the size of an Olympic swimming pool. Sharks' teeth actually replace themselves like on a conveyor belt. As one dulls down, a new one comes up to replace it. They heal incredibly fast. In fact, most of the cancer research right now is based on sharks because, for some reason, sharks seem to be almost cancer-proof. They don't need sleep. They can hear a fish over 3,000 feet away, and their sight is 10 times better than ours. Some species can even swim 2,500 miles without resting or eating, and their skin actually makes them swim faster. Well, recently, one of these new humans decided to do an experiment on sharks. And what they did is they took a shark and they dropped him into a fish tank with other bait fish. What do you think happened? Well, you probably figured it out. The shark ate the bait fish. The next day, what the scientists did is they put a piece of plexiglass in between the shark and the other side of the tank, so the shark could not get to the bait fish. The shark would swim up to the plexiglass, ram into it, and would ram into it in frustration because it wanted to get to the fish on the other side and eat them. This would go on for days and days and days. Eventually, the scientists would remove the plexiglass. And the amazing thing the scientists discovered was the shark would no longer try to get the bait fish on the other side of the pool. Why? Because it was convinced there was a barrier there. So here we are with an amazing predator, an apex predator, which can sense electrical fields, which can smell one drop of blood in an Olympic swimming pool, which teeth are replaced on a conveyor belt, which is cancer-free, which heals incredibly fast like a vampire, and it's defeated by a barrier that's not even there. Let's talk about Harry Houdini. Harry Houdini was arguably the greatest escape artist of all time. He was a magician's magician. Some of the escapes included these. He would hang himself between two skyscrapers upside down in a straitjacket and would escape. He would also chain himself up, then he would put a bag over himself, chain that bag up, then he would be placed inside a milk can filled with water. That milk can would be chained up, and he would escape before he drowned. He was so amazing and confident of his abilities that he had a bet with all of the police in the world, as well as all the prisons, that no jail or prison could hold him. One day, Scotland Yard decided to take him up on his offer. So as he tells the story, this is what happened. He was thrown naked into a cell in Scotland Yard. After the police had left, he coughed up a lockpick that he had swallowed. He started working on the lock. After about 5 minutes, he was really surprised. He was used to being out by now, but he kept working on the lock. After about 10 minutes, he's getting a little frustrated, and he's like, man, it's a really good lock. I must be slipping. What am I, getting old? What's going on here? After about 15 minutes, he's getting really frustrated, and he's starting to sweat. He's freezing because he's naked, and it's a concrete floor, but he's sweating also from exertion. After about 20 minutes of this, he finally sighs and slumps against the jail door in frustration, and the door opens. The door was never locked. So the greatest escape artist, arguably of all time, almost beaten by an unlocked door. Now let's talk about the third person, you. Don't we all do things like that? We see obstacles that aren't even there. We're convinced we can't do something. We're convinced we won't be successful. What do we learn from Harry Houdini and sharks? Well, we learn there are two types of people in the world. There's the type of person who will create obstacles that are not there, who will decide they cannot succeed, who will give up, and who will accept things the way they are instead of the way they want them to be. And then there's the other kind of person who will succeed, who will look for reasons to succeed rather than fail, who will look not for obstacles, but for opportunities, and will, by force of will and character, remake the world in their own image. The question is, as always, which one are you?